Right, so it's another beautiful day outside. Spring is definitely on its way, and I've got not too long left until IMM, so I better get this car done. So yeah, let's get some more work done on this floor today. Right then, so I've had a couple of hours in the garage this morning. I had a day off work today, so got the rest of the sill cut out. Car's back up on its side, and there's the new Magnum panel just rested in. Not a terrible fit actually. So you can see I've cut out a little bit of the floor here. It was just a bit thin, so chop that bit up. I'll weld in a fresh bit of metal, fill in that spot there, and another spot here. Take off that bracket, maybe chop a little bit out there, bit in the floor there, and then I can start to look at this cross member. Needs a little repair, and then we should be about on track to fit the inner sill. So yeah, let's crack on. So that's the bit I repaired on the floor there. Couple of little spots, and yeah, there's the inner sill sat on there. I think I still need to shave off. If we look dead on, can't quite see that gap. We're gonna need a tiny little gap. That needs to pull up to the door. That needs to pull up to the doorstep really. And yeah, we're very, very close. So, I know I said in the last clip I was gonna start fitting up the inner sill, but I'm looking at the back panel here and I'm thinking it's gonna be easier. I was gonna keep it all in so I knew everything was in the right place, but I'm thinking it's gonna be easier to chop this all out and replace with the new panel first, because this is already, you know, kind of half off anyway. Just chop it out, replace it all in one go. I've got the jig, so I know I can line the subframe up alright, and I think it's just going to be easier to do it that way. So I mean, I've cleaned up all inside side there. I've still got this, hopefully you can see that, I've still got this part to repair before I can put the inner sill on. Right, so this is what I've been up to. Ciao. So yeah, it's not normally advisable to cut this much out, but whatever. It was much easier to do it without an inner sill in the way. I've got a small hole here in the rear quarter. Made this little panel to go in, this little patch, and that sits quite nicely in there. Focus. So that sits quite nicely in there, and then we've got obviously a new closing panel. That'll go in there, nice heritage one. That'll just pop in there. and then I need to bridge this gap because that was a bit rusted out. And then I've got the Magnum repair, which is pretty terrible to be honest. This flange goes completely the wrong way, so I need to chop off along this line and then rebend that the right way because it's supposed to flange inwards, and then that will sit, and that will sit up in there, in the sill, outer sill, and then there's a little repair down on the toe board there. Yeah, job done. Easy peasy. Let's see how long that takes. So IMM is now, I think, 130 days, 150 days until IMM. So yeah, this is why I'm in the garage until 11 o'clock at night. Alright, so there's a little mock-up. New inner sill, new outer sill, just clamped in place. Closing panel, and that Magnum headboard repair. Looks like I may have cut it a little short. Well, I didn't cut the panel, I cut the floor, but I don't know if you can see along the flute here I've got maybe 1 inch between, or let's say 10 or 12 mil to the, from the flute to the edge of the floor. Come down this end and I'm almost on the flute. So where it was being held while I measured it up was a little bit off, but we'll have to do something about that. She'll be right. Right, so there's the rear quarter just welded up there. Not the best. Yeah. That'll do. Let's grind that off, see what we got. A couple of pin pricks. I might fill them up with a bit of weld actually. I was just going to leave them and fill her over, but... Right, so there's the after. I managed to get my my fat dirty fingers in the paint, so it doesn't look too great, but I've also spent some time cutting down and rebending, reprofiling the crappy Magnum panel. This return lip here on the standard panel goes the wrong way, it goes out, so yeah, that was fun. So I'm pretty sure I'm in about the right position. I've got my subframe jig here that I was checking it with, and it seems about right, so yeah. I also just cut a little repair. That's going to weld in here, and then I should be ready to put the inner sill in first. I think inner sill, then subframe end, then closing panel, then I'll do that repair. And then because the panels are crap, I need to do something about the end of that because it's supposed to wrap around. And then we're almost there. So a few more late nights and we'll have a bit of progress.